Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. Plus, get $250 off instantly. You deserve to do something for you. Call 1-888-501-3506 or go to sonobello.com now.
This right here is the most delicious way to turn any person into a morning person.
Get the Chicken McGriddles or McChicken Biscuit. Buy one and get another for just $1.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
From the Bay Area's local news station, we begin now with breaking news.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Daria Folsom.
And I'm James Fletcher. The breaking news this morning, if you're just waking up and joining us, President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump have both tested positive for coronavirus. We've heard from the First Lady that she's feeling well this morning, suffering only mild symptoms. The president, however, is 74 years old, and he is in a higher risk for complications with the coronavirus. Last word from the White House physician was that he was also experiencing mild symptoms, but that was last night. We haven't heard yet from the president this morning. He is often a fan of going to Twitter to reassure Americans about his health and what's on his mind. And so far this morning, he's been silent on social media, so we're still waiting to hear word from him directly.
How is this affecting the political landscape and the country? We have reaction from our political analysts this morning, Michael Yockey and Tom Del Beccaro. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, so Mr. Yockey, why don't you tell us first, since we just had an update from Mr. Beccaro, let's talk to you first about what do you think this means politically as we wait to hear how the president is doing?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, we now have 32 days until the election, and it's going to depend on whether or not the president has any serious symptoms from the coronavirus. Does he go the Bolsonaro route, which is the president of Brazil, who had a very mild case, or is this potentially a Boris Johnson route, where Boris, of course, was hospitalized for over a week? We don't know, and I think that's going to determine really whether or not the president's able to get back out there. Now, you can still campaign. I mean, traditionally, campaigns were done sort of from the front porch, so he still has the ability through Twitter and his surrogates, and of course the ads will still be out there to deal with this, but it does add a dimensionality to this because of the fact that this is COVID, and it's so linked with the president in the public's mind about his inability to lead and mismanagement on this issue, that I think this accentuates that even more and could have a very detrimental effect on his electoral prospects. But first and foremost, like everyone, we're all hoping and praying that he and the First Lady get better.
Well, then, Mr. Yockey just said it could be detrimental. Let's go for the Republican side and hear from you, Mr. Del Beccaro. Do you think it will have a positive or negative effect?
We don't know. This is uncharted territory. If he has a quick recovery and he's noble about it, it could actually help him. But Michael's right. This brings the issue back to coronavirus, whereas Trump wanted the issue to be about more than just coronavirus. He wanted to be about the recovering economy. He wanted it to be about Middle East peace. He wanted it to be about the things that he wants to project going forward. And so this changes that dynamic. And he has to be gallant and brave like Reagan was. And it really helped Reagan. Remember, Reagan's was an assassination, and he came out stronger out of that process. So in some ways, we're in uncharted territories, but as the Reagan example shows, that's what a president needs to be in times like this.
As a practical matter, though, we are, a little more than 4 weeks away from the election, and for half of that time, the president could potentially be sidelined by this, whereas you're going to have Joe Biden on the other side of the ticket actively out there campaigning. What will the effects of that be?
Hopefully, we don't have Biden's test yet back. Have they come back with that? I don't think so.
No, not yet.
Well, but also keep in mind that Biden has said, has been reluctant, saying he shouldn't be out there campaigning. So if Biden then goes out there and does it, that would seem sort of incongruous. But no one knows. This is completely uncharted territory. It does not help the campaign per se that he is sidelined for the reasons Michael and I have said. And of course, there is the operations of government, which I'm confident right now, based on my experience, with the White House that, look, they're going through protocols. They're reestablishing how they're going to run the government, and then, of course, how they're going to do the remainder of the campaign. But because of technology, things are different. You can do a lot and not actually be on the road.
But do you think that this changes the fact that he has personally gotten COVID? Do you think that this is going to change policy and what he says to people? Because in the past, he's been talking about, even as recent as the debates, where he said, we're all fine, we've all been tested. And there, everybody was sitting in his family without masks on. And now everybody is saying, well, we better get tested today. So do you think that's going to change the message?
You know, I would hope so. This is an instance where transparency by the president is going to be really, really important. When was Hope Hicks diagnosed? When did they know about this? Why did they do decisions that they did, such as going to the fundraiser or not? But I think he has a chance to pivot on this. I'm going to say this: the American people are very forgiving people. And if the president has sort of the Ebenezer Scrooge on Christmas morning conversion and starts talking about masks, social distancing, and gets it, if he shows that he gets it, then that's an opportunity for him. I'm not too sure if that's gonna happen. And the reason I think that is that this morning Mark Meadows marched out to the press spray in front of the White House and wasn't wearing a mask from the moment he left the White House. So it's one of those things where if you're going to get it, you need to show the American people. I'm not too sure if he's capable of that right now, but hope springs eternal.
What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question that the way they approach this and the tonality will change in the remaining days before this election. Look, Trump's been through a lot in his life. We'll see how he does. Look, as a private person, Donald Trump isn't the same as he is sometimes out there in the public eye. And so I would think that there is going to be this tonality change, and I would doubt that there's going to be any more big rallies between now and Election Day, which will be part of the evidence of how they change how they're doing things.
You know what, James Dolan, we were just talking about the people at that rally yesterday. Not a rally, sorry, it was a fundraiser.
A private fundraiser,
But the president knew that Hope Hicks had coronavirus and he was directly exposed, but he went on with his business yesterday. And James was just bringing up a point. What about all these people at the fundraiser?
Well, it's not just a fundraiser. He was symptomatic. Mm-hmm. Hope Hicks was symptomatic during the flight to the rally in Minnesota. So there is that issue there. So it's not just, I mean, the fundraiser itself, that's what I'm talking about, the transparency. There needs to be transparency, and there needs to be real good information. I've said at 6 a.m., if I can remember that far back, that the that there's the rapid antigen test, and then there's the PCR test. And the rapid test has a very high false negative rate. And those are the ones they've been using at the White House. And I want to know, did Mike Pence get the PCR test as well as the antigen test? You know, did Nancy Pelosi do the same thing? Mnuchin, Mark Meadows, Joe Biden. These are important things that not only us, but things like the market are going to want to know, because Hope Hicks was part of the group that was supposed to be getting those tests all the time. Yet she developed symptoms. She got through the process. She infected the president and the first lady and perhaps others around them. And now we're in this, a situation of potential, instability in our country, which, I agree with Tom. I think we have the mechanisms for transfer of power, et cetera, that other countries don't have. But still, the fact that the leader of the free world, the American president, has coronavirus is something that has impact.
So going forward then, I'll ask the both of you, we've got, you mentioned probably no major big rally between now and the election. We could also very well not have another debate until election time. The second debate between the two of them in question right now, which if we don't have another presidential debate, the American public is going to have the taste of the last one in their mouths, and that's all they're going to have before they go to the polls. How does the president repair some of that damage that some say he caused?
Well, it starts with the next debate with Vice President Pence, and it goes to their messaging the rest of the way in. The reality is that because of technology, you will hear more from these two candidates between now and Election Day than people heard from candidates from 1970 and before all combined. So it's not as if there will be a lack of messaging or presence. That's how much the technology affects our lives. And we're just going to have to see. Michael's right. Does he have mild symptoms or does he have something more serious? And so there's still, we can ask a lot of questions. We can speculate. I would ask people to be calm about this and not try to run towards any particular conclusion who are watching us. But this is uncharted territory. It's not a benefit to one side or to the president's side, but we have a ways to go.
I think that the one benefit to this is science, and that is masks, social distancing will work. If Hope Hicks had worn a mask, if she had done social distancing,
but we don't know.
If it was
Michael,
true that she was busy hugging cops and law enforcement, whatever, that's not what you do if you're one of the people who was around the president of the United States as much as she was.
Well, and Michael,
and
Tom, Michael's just saying that because the president said last night on Fox, you don't know where she got it, and she loves to visit with the military people, and they like to hug, and he's not just making that up. And I do want to point out, like you said, Tom, yeah, you never know definitively exactly where you got it, but there are things you can do. You said you're hardly leaving your home for the last several months.
Well, not hardly. I am mainly living in my home for the last several months. It's not clear, we don't know how he picked it up, and you don't know in these kind of things. But I bet going forward, there'll be a rededication to this. If they don't, they'll be making a mistake as they head into this election.
Wow. Well, both of you, thank you for joining us this morning. We are, again, less than 2 days into October, and here we are with a surprise that we never saw coming. So who knows what the next few weeks is going to bring, but whatever it is, we'll have you both back to talk about it.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Take care.
All right, we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Your mind, body, and family with Dr. Mark Steinberg.
Hi, I'm Janelle Marie. Today we're in the office of Dr. Mark Steinberg. He is a clinical, educational, and neuropsychologist, author of several books on the brain and relationships. He has successfully treated thousands of people in the Bay Area for over 40 years, with offices both in Los Gatos and San Francisco, all without drugs. Hi, doctor.
Hi, Janelle.
You brought?
Victoria's here, a very talented musician and piano teacher who is struggling with some personal problems.
Victoria, what were your problems before you met Dr. Steinberg?
Sleeping issues, stress, anxieties, a bit of a depression.
Yeah. Did it affect your work?
Very much so. Everyday life, it affects quite a lot.
All right. So, Dr. Steinberg, how did you treat Victoria?
I helped Victoria by training her brain with EEG neurofeedback to help her self-regulate. And over a period of sessions, she was able to sleep better, the depression was gone, the anxiety reduced. I also helped her through some very traumatic times, being a parent and experiencing stress and anxiety by helping her with voice technology. And the anxiety and stress just vanished.
Tell me how it's changed your life.
Well, it's a stress-free living. I function much better, and there is no anxiety. I sleep better, so it's
Is your work better as well?
Absolutely, yeah. It's improved my life, everyday life.
And doctor, what else do you treat?
We treat a variety of conditions that when we get rid of them or diminish them, people function better. We help people sleep better, focus and concentrate better, become organized, not overreact. We get rid of headaches, we get rid of anxiety and depression, we reduce or get rid of seizures, and we help people with developmental problems. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
But the brain runs a lot, and we can help your brain work better.
All right, so give the doctor a call at 408-356-1002 or go to marksteinberg.com.
This segment is sponsored by Dr. Mark Steinberg.
Bay Area homeowners, do you have low water pressure where you can't even wash the shampoo out of your hair? You know, the same shower that you yell, "Don't flush the toilet, I'm in the shower!" It's time to get rid of those old, rusty, corroded pipes and call Repipe Specialist to get brand new PEX or copper pipes. Repipe Specialist will repipe your home in just 1 or 2 days at half the cost of a plumber. Plus, we offer a lifetime guarantee. Call today for your free in-home estimate to get great water pressure and no more leaks.
9:14 right now, and we've also got to look at the forecast because we have bad air quality again going into the weekend, so that's a big story.
Yeah, John Schravel in the Weather Center with that. Morning, John.
Bad air quality and high fire danger remains with us, guys. Not your ideal way to kick off the weekend for sure. And just one look outside from Sutro Tower right here, and you can see it. We are going to be seeing conditions out there today on the hazy side yet again.
And I think we got me now. Sorry about that. So we are hazy yet again today and high fire danger across the Bay Area as we continue to make our way across this forecast these next few days. Hazy conditions will remain into the weekend. Spare the air alerts in effect till Tuesday. We do have our worst of air quality centered right around Napa. Very poor conditions in red for the rest of the Bay Area. And then closer to the coastline, some poor conditions. Basically all the same, though. It is not the day to go outside and exert yourself too much. Try to minimize that outdoor exposure as much as you can. It doesn't matter if you have respiratory conditions or not. This is something that impacts us all. Now, in addition to the poor air quality, heightened fire danger remains into tomorrow morning. Red flag warnings will expire tomorrow morning as winds pick up again tonight. And then in these peach areas, it's heat advisories as daytime highs today, although not as hot as yesterday, will still be warm. Concord, Napa, and Santa Rosa back into the triple digits today, while Livermore, Antioch, and Morgan Hill in the upper 90s. Areas like San Jose in the mid-90s, Oakland in the upper 80s. So tomorrow, temperatures not as hot as today. We do see red flag warnings and heat advisories all expired tomorrow. Now, Sunday will be our coolest one of the weekend. We're still going to have an hazy impact, though. In fact, that's likely to stick around into early next week, into Monday and Tuesday. After that, truly seeing some relief, with highs falling into the 80s and even 70s inland by Wednesday and Thursday. Robin?
Thank you, John. We're heading over to Richmond where our police activity is wrapping up. We had all lanes blocked on 580 westbound near Bayview. They were holding traffic for police investigation. They have finally released the traffic and folks are getting through now, but it backed up your drive along 580 West and onto the East Shore Freeway all the way out through Berkeley. So 80 East is crawling from Ashby all the way up to the 580 split, and then 580 is still slow westbound approaching Bayview after that police activity. Backed up East 580 as well. When you make it to the Richmond Santa Fe Bridge, it's right on time at 7 minutes to the North Bay. No delays at all at the Bay Bridge Toll Plaza. It's been nice and smooth and quiet all Friday morning into San Francisco. And I'll give you one more, 92, a little busy, but not bad between Hayward and San Mateo. You're clocking in at a very quick 12 minutes. Daria, James?
Thanks a lot, Robin. It's 9:17 right now, and we are going to talk more about the breaking news, which is the president having COVID.
Yeah, let's get reaction from Wall Street. Joining us now, we've got financial expert Rob Black once again to talk about what effects that we saw early on, Rob, and then what we're seeing right now, because things have pulled back just a little bit, correct?
Yeah, we're down 1/3 of 1%, almost nothing. Very normal day on Wall Street. But at 3 o'clock this morning, the futures were looking down 500 points. We opened down 470, but we're barely down at this point. We could go positive by the end of the day, the way things are shaping up.
That's kind of interesting.
And I think the reason that is, James, is stimulus is probably a lot more likely. And Wall Street would rather bet on that than on the president's health as a negative. They see the stimulus as a positive.
Yeah, that is interesting because the Democrats, I guess, pushed through, what, a $2.2 trillion proposal last night. Republicans at the time thought the sentiment was that they weren't going to go for it. I wonder if the president's diagnosis now is maybe pushing them to take action quicker and getting a deal done, which would be good news for a whole lot of folks.
Nancy Pelosi said something funny today. She said, legislators legislate, we'll get it done. So it looks like stimulus should be done by this time next week, because I think that's when they go on vacation and go back to their states and start campaigning. So that's a positive, but 1/2 of 1%, not that bad. Stocks that got hit the hardest today, I think the story coming out of this is that there's a second wave coming. It's already hit Europe pretty hard, and most of Europe's thinking about shutting down again. So now with the president, maybe this pushes us to start shutting down again, because the second wave seems to be more likely or less likely, even though we're getting closer on vaccines and cures, tonics to help you get through it a little bit easier. I think it's a fear of the second wave out there, because you did see oil get weaker today. You did see airlines and hotels get weaker today. So maybe that's the story we'll be talking about in the future.
And does the president having COVID overall just weaken the stock market, meaning make it more vulnerable to wild swings depending on what he tweets or how he's doing. We haven't heard from him yet this morning.
Or his health going
forward.
But
Melania says they're experiencing mild symptoms, or she is. So is that going to be the new thing, like that could set the market off in a second?
For sure. I think, just coming back to the jobs numbers, we've lost something. We still have 10 more million jobs to go. We lost about 22 million when COVID hit back in March, and we're about 10 million short of getting back to where we were pre-pandemic. So I think there's a little bit of fear of like travel and hotels. Second wave would be very, very bad news. And even if we get the vaccine soon, it's going to take 4 to 6 months to distribute it to enough Americans to really feel comfortable on cruises and travel and pre-pandemic lifestyle versus post-pandemic lifestyle.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting seeing how the markets move here going forward. But yeah, a lot of volatility right now. And as Daria mentioned, going forward, we don't know what's going to set the markets in one direction or another. It could be an update from the White House about the president's health or about the coronavirus relief package. Maybe they hit a snag. Hopefully they don't. But if you're looking to protect your money, is there anything you can do right now, or do we kind of just have to ride this out?
I'm a buyer. I'm not a seller. I'm using this as an opportunity. I think Mitch McConnell said today, maybe we should do a virtual debate coming up. And so I love Zoom. We're talking right now on Zoom. I don't think that goes away anytime soon. So I'm more of a buyer, James, than a seller. And I think you can still go after healthcare names. They have a lot of value tied towards them. The companies that I would be nervous about right now are the tech companies, the big Facebooks, the Amazons, the Apples, because if the president can't go out and campaign right now, he's not going to raise money. If he can't raise money, he's probably going to lose those swing states. Again, very rookie analysis on politics, but that's the way I'm seeing it. So there's more likelihood that there's a Democratic sweep, which would probably mean more regulation and higher taxes on the tech companies that make billions and billions of dollars. So maybe I'd lighten up if I was overweight on any of the tech names, but I'm not lightening up personally now.
And adding to what you're saying about, you think that it might go in that direction as far as Democrats and Republicans in the election, we just found out that Joe Biden has tested negative. And everybody was waiting for that because the two of them appeared together during that debate. We don't know if there's going to be another debate like you just referred to going forward. So I don't know if that has any implications on the stock market either, knowing that he is negative, at least at this point.
Street gets through these things, Daria. I know we all woke up and it was very dramatic to see, but Wall Street is what I refer to as a discounting mechanism. Oil getting weaker today and gold edging up a little bit adds credibility to your argument, but it's not moving big. It's very, very small moves. So I think people are thinking second round of COVID might be coming on Wall Street.
We'll see what impact that has, Rob. Thank you, as always, for your insights here in topics that just are a mystery to me. So we appreciate your views on that this morning.
Thanks, James.
You bet.
Sorry.
We'll be right back.
It is my father's love. It is his passion. It is his fault he didn't lock the garage.
Don't even think about it.
Been there, done that.
With LiftMaster powered by MyQ, know what's happening in your garage from anywhere.
Navigate the road of life with Blue Shield of California and AAA. We're excited to introduce our new Medicare Supplement Plan G Inspire, designed to keep you safer and more independent on and off the road. Call 866-983-4280 to enroll today. With benefits like a classic AAA membership with 24/7 roadside assistance, reimagine your journey with a Medicare plan that offers more, including the Blue Shield benefits you value most, like an allowance for over-the-counter items, vision benefits, Silver Sneakers Fitness and Wellness Program, access to doctors on call 24/7 by phone or video, and more.
I count on my Blue Shield Medicare plan.
Your road to the right coverage starts here with Blue Shield and AAA. Get Plan G Inspire. Enroll today. Call 866-983-4280. Plus, get a $10 Amazon gift card when you attend a Medicare webinar.
This segment sponsored by Black Diamond.
Welcome to Bay Area Living Home Improvement Edition. We're talking outdoor living today with Black Diamond Paver Stones and Landscape. Roger,
What kind of work do you folks do?
Well, what's terrific about Black Diamond is we can build anything outside for all of Northern California. We can do someone's new driveway or patio and beautiful pavers, a pergola, a barbecue island, anything in their outdoor transformation.
Now, there are some other companies out there who can do that kind of work, Tiffany, but why should folks choose you?
Well, we have some of the longest warranties in the business. We have a 27-year warranty on paver installation. We have a lifetime warranty on the pavers. And the only warranty or guarantee you're going to get with concrete is it's guaranteed to crack. And in California, lots of earthquakes.
Quakes, hello. Now,
Absolutely.
I did a little research. You guys also have terrific ratings.
Yes, we have hundreds of 5-star Yelp reviews. We've been A+ rated on the Better Business Bureau for over 10 years, and we're ready to serve.
So if you're ready to pave your way to a great new yard, go to www.blackdiamondlandscape.com.
With free in-garage delivery from Key by Amazon, you can take a day off from worrying about your packages. Just connect your MyQ app to Key. Get free in-garage delivery with MyQ and Key by Amazon.
We are back. 9:25 is the time, and one of the big stories here locally is the smoke and the poor air quality as a result of the wildfires that continue to burn. Here's our air quality index map showing you just how bad it is. Unhealthy to hazardous air from the North Bay all the way down to the South Bay today. So be careful if you have to be outside, and if you don't have to be outside, stay inside today.
Just looking at the map, it's worse than it was yesterday morning, and I thought yesterday was pretty bad. So let's go with our team coverage to Crown Force Sarah Stinson. She's in Lafayette, and you've been monitoring things out there. How's it feel so far?
It still feels bad. I'm forcing myself to wear a mask because I've looked at the numbers and the air quality is bad out here. I actually moved to Orinda because I knew that this sign was here so I could show you. It says it right here, extreme fire danger today. That's because we have potentially high winds, we have high temperatures in the high 90s, and of course on top of that we have the air quality. There's a red flag warning in effect. It's been extended. Let's take a look at the air quality map first. Let's talk about that. You can see orange, red, purple. That's unhealthy, that's poor, and that's hazardous air. And this air is not going to get any better until the wildfires up in the North Bay are contained. I talked to one woman, and she said that she has a house in St. Helena. She evacuated on Sunday, and she described for me the difference between the air here, and she was staying in Lafayette with friends, so the difference between the air here and the air there.
I think they're two different worlds. It's been really telling just driving up from here across the 12 and seeing this just unstoppable cloud of smoke. It's remarkable how much the air quality changes, but I think we're all suffering it really from all over the Bay Area.
It's so very true. Fortunately, her home is still standing, but she's on edge. Now, red flag warning still in effect. It got extended until at least tomorrow morning at 6, so we'll continue to monitor that because it very well could get extended further if these conditions continue to stick around. So stay cool and stay indoors as much as you can. Limit that exposure to this poor air quality. Reporting live in Orinda, Sarah Stinson, KRON 4 News.
The mask will help with the air quality and with COVID. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, that's the breaking news update here. As we go to break, we'll show you the latest tweet from Vice President Joe Biden, in which he says, as you can see on your screen, I'm happy to report that Jill and I have tested negative for COVID. Thank you to everyone for your messages of concern. I hope this serves as a reminder. Wear a mask, keep social distance, and wash your hands.
And we've got new positives this morning as well in Washington, D.C., and we'll have an update on that, too, in just a few minutes.
Right now, we could all use some comforting words, so here it goes. Melty, melty, tasty, grilly, juicy. Sizzle. That should feel better. The sourdough patty melt is back. Make it a combo meal for just $5.99. Melty, melty.
Ad paid for by No On I, sponsored by the San Francisco Chamber of Commerce. Committee major funding from California Association of Realtors Issues Mobilization PAC, Equity Residential, and Hudson Pacific Properties, Inc. Financial disclosures are available at sfethics.org. For small business owners, it's been the hardest year of our lives. The pandemic devastated our livelihoods, and now we're just trying to survive. Proposition I could wipe us out. Prop I taxes small neighborhood businesses when we're already reeling. As so many of us desperately try to renegotiate our leases and save our employees' jobs, Prop I makes it even harder. And what's worse, Prop I pours millions of taxpayer dollars into a City Hall slush fund with no protections for how politicians use the money. Small storefronts are the heart and soul of San Francisco. Please don't tax us out of business. No on Prop I. It's idiotic.
Join AAA with automatic renewal and add loved ones for 50% off. So you get AAA's battery testing and replacement, and they do too. AAA's flat tire service comes to your rescue, and theirs too. AAA is just a call or click away for you and them. Add loved ones to your AAA membership and let them enjoy all the same benefits for 50% off. Get America's most recommended roadside assistance. AAA, outsmart life.
App-based drivers strongly support Prop 22 because it protects the flexibility they need.
I'm a busy single mom, recently retired.
Taking a full course load. App-based driving works for my family.
Being an independent contractor works for me.
By 4 to 1, app-based drivers want to stay independent contractors.
That's why we need Prop 22.
Prop 22 protects our ability to drive on our own schedule.
And offers wage guarantees
and healthcare benefits.
Join me and hundreds of thousands of drivers in voting yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes on Prop 22.
My sourdough patty melt combo is back and packed with my toasted sourdough bread, freshly grilled onions, 100% beef, and 2 slices of melted cheese. All that with fries and a drink for only $5.99. Whoa, is there an echo in here? Get my sourdough patty melt combo back on my menu for $5.99.
Let's get to the very latest now with the president and the first lady having COVID. We are finding out how the dominoes are falling in Washington, D.C. as far as those who were exposed to them and to Hope Hicks, and seeing who is testing positive and who has it and who doesn't. Now, so far, we know that the president and Mrs. Trump are both in quarantine, recovering, and Melania is the only one who's tweeted this morning as saying that she is feeling mild symptoms. The president only tweeted last night that they were in quarantine. So all we have to go on right now is that she is feeling mild symptoms, and that those who have been with the president both Wednesday night on Air Force One, when Hope Hicks took ill and was showing symptoms and wore a mask on the plane, there are reports that the president wasn't feeling that great yesterday. He was at his events as scheduled at a fundraiser. So a lot of people who now were at the fundraiser and who were exposed are all getting tested.
Yeah, and that includes a lot of his inner circle. Vice President Mike Pence, one of them, he was tested. The results came back this morning negative. So we know that the vice president does not have coronavirus. He, of course, reacted last night to the president's news that he was positive, sending his well wishes and hopes for a speedy recovery. And we're also this morning as well learning from the doctors that are treating the president this morning. We heard from the president's chief medical officer saying the president, again, as of last night, was experiencing only mild symptoms and that they plan to remain in the White House during their convalescence. If anything should worsen, obviously, they've got Walter Reed, which they can take the president to. But for the moment, he is at the White House recovering, though we have not heard from him directly yet on social media, so we're still waiting for that.
The administration apparently found out Wednesday evening that Hope Hicks had coronavirus, because on Wednesday they were at an event. They were traveling Tuesday and Wednesday. She was with the president on Air Force One. She came down with symptoms on Wednesday and then got back on Air Force One, but wore a mask on the way back. Still, the rest of the press and everything was in the plane, and so was the president. And now we found out after this that the president did, in fact, get coronavirus. So they're thinking that that's where it came from. But there have been a lot of other positive tests coming in on Capitol Hill, one of which was, in a minute, you're going to see someone here. It is Senator Mike Lee from Utah, who had been at the White House within this week, within the last few days, he says. Yeah. So there's a lot of questions as to, who got it first. But we now know that these people have tested positive. You see on your screen the Trumps, Hope Hicks, the RNC chairwoman, Ronna McDaniel, and Senator Mike Lee of Utah, who was at the White House.
And as for those who we know now have tested negative for coronavirus, who had to be tested, of course, in the wake of the news, we have Ivanka Trump, the president's daughter, and her husband, Jared Kushner, testing negative. Barron Trump, the president's youngest son, testing negative. Vice President Mike Pence, Second Lady Karen Pence, as we heard, U.S. Secretary of Treasury Steve Mnuchin, Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar. We know that Senator Kamala Harris, the vice presidential candidate on the Democratic side, has tested negative, as has Joe Biden, the presidential nominee for the Democrats. He's tested negative this morning. And Judge Amy Coney Barrett has also tested negative, along with U.S. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross.
Yeah, let's take a look at what Joe Biden had to say just this morning on Twitter. He says, "I'm happy to report that Jill and I have tested negative. Thank you for your messages of concern. I hope this serves as a reminder," he says. "Wear a mask, keep social distance, and wash your hands."
And again, here is the vice president as he was on the campaign trail earlier this week. You know, it's people are thinking back to the debate that we had on Tuesday when we had the president and the vice president there.
Which is why he got tested, because they were both not wearing masks.
On the same stage.
Right.
And the issue of masks came up during that debate. And the point was made by the president that Joe Biden is constantly wearing a mask to the point where the president actually sort of made fun of him on stage for that. And let's take a look.
President Trump, you have begun to increasingly question the effectiveness of masks as a disease preventer. And in fact, recently you have cited the issue of waiters touching their masks and touching plates. Are you questioning
No, I think masks
efficacy
are okay.
of
You have
masks?
to understand, if you look, I mean, I have a mask right here. I put a mask on, you know, when I think I need it. Tonight, as an example, everybody's had a test, and you've had social distancing and all of the things that you have to. But I wear masks when needed. When needed, I wear masks.
Okay, let me ask.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen.
The president there was, you know, showing confidence in the fact that everybody at that debate was tested before they came in. The problem that we're finding is that the rapid tests don't have as good as a, you know, results, accuracy as the longer tests that take to come back. And so while everybody was negative there, the president's family, when they came in, they all took off their masks, as did the president and Joe Biden. And now, of course, everybody's getting tested again to make sure that they have not contracted the virus.
Well, last night the president appeared on Fox News, knowing at that point that Hope Hicks had tested positive. His test results at the time were unknown to him, but he did speculate a bit on how perhaps maybe they contracted it. But, well, you take a listen.
It's very hard when you're with soldiers, when you're with airmen, when you're with the Marines, and the police officers. I'm with them so much. And when they come over to you, it's very hard to say, stay back, stay back. You know, it's a tough kind of a situation. It's a terrible thing. They want to hug you and they want to kiss you because we really have done a good job for them. And you get close and things happen.
Or, you know, you do what the CDC says, which is don't get close. Don't get close to people who don't have a mask on, and wear a mask. We're going to see if the president ends up changing his messaging at all because of this. And we certainly all are hoping that he has a speedy recovery.
And we'll be following the very latest, obviously, throughout the day. And you can as well by downloading the KRON 4 mobile app. The minute we have new information, perhaps when the president tweets, which we have not heard yet from him today directly, we will alert you to the update on his condition.
Or maybe when he even speaks to the American public, which we're hearing might happen. And if it does, make sure you keep Channel 4 on all day in the background, because we'll have it for you right away.
Say yes to the best bargains ever at Ross. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Savings on savings on savings. That's yes for less at Ross.
Navigate the road of life with Blue Shield of California and AAA. We're excited to introduce our new Medicare Supplement Plan G Inspire, designed to keep you safer and more independent on and off the road. Call 866-983-4280 to enroll today. With benefits like a classic AAA membership with 24/7 roadside assistance, reimagine your journey with a Medicare plan that offers more, including the Blue Shield benefits you value most, like an allowance for over-the-counter items, vision benefits, Silver Sneakers Fitness and Wellness Program, access to doctors on-call 24/7 by phone or video, and more.
I count on my Blue Shield Medicare plan.
Your road to the right coverage starts here with Blue Shield and AAA. Get Plan G Inspire Enroll today. Call 866-983-4280. Plus, get a $10 Amazon gift card when you attend a Medicare webinar.
This right here is the most delicious way to turn any person into a morning person.
Get the Chicken McGriddles or McChicken Biscuit. Buy one and get another for just $1.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Are house cats facing their own coronavirus pandemic? The feline strain of the virus and how it's spreading through the world of cats. Next, Inside Edition, tonight at 7, followed by E.T. at 7:30.
Oh, yeah. There's always something new in store at Ross.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Say yes to those looks, the best brands, and check you out bargains. Savings from top to bottom? That's yes for less at Ross.
But I do feel like I'm a pawn in their chess game. I'm a kidney patient, and I have been for almost 29 years. I take it as an insult that these powers that be want to continue to just persist in passing this bill that is only beneficial for them. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. I could die if Prop 23 passes, because if my clinic closes, I don't know where I'll go for treatment. Protect me and 80,000 other dialysis patients. Please vote no.
Welcome back. 9:40 on this Friday morning. It is hazier out there today than it's been all week so far. You can see the haze blocking out your view from Suture Tower looking down at San Francisco. And yes, air quality is worse than it's been really for most of the Bay Area. Napa seeing the worst of it, although Vacaville, Fairfield, Concord, Livermore, and San Jose, just to name a few spots, in that very poor category. A little closer to the coast, a mix of poor conditions. So before you step outside today, be mindful of that air quality that is going to be causing us issues, regardless of if you have respiratory sensitivities or not. Now, we do have fire danger and heat coupled to make for red flag warnings in red, and then also heat advisories in this peach color. Red flag warnings expiring tomorrow morning, heat advisories at the end of the day today. And you can pretty clearly see why. Daytime highs still in the triple digits for Concord, Napa, and Santa Rosa, while 90s remain in Novato, Livermore, Fremont, Hayward, as well as San Jose. Oakland and San Francisco still in the 80s today. Now, we are going to see winds picking up into the evening tonight, which is where that coupled with heat results in our higher fire danger through tomorrow morning. Saturday will still be warm, not as hot as today though. Sunday, our coolest one of the weekend. It will be hazy likely all the way through Tuesday, after which point we will see a reversal in wind direction and the opportunity for some clearing to occur, as well as some significant cooling as highs inland fall into the 70s. Robin.
All right, thank you, John. We're checking in on the morning commute, which is winding down nicely. We are finally back to being hotspot free. So let's check in on our bridges, shall we? Starting off with the Bay Bridge, the trip into San Francisco, it never backed up. It's been nice and smooth and quiet all morning. Here's 92, and this commute traffic to the peninsula has finally thinned out. You're clocking in at a very quick 12 minutes to make your way between Hayward and San Mateo. Our police action in Richmond finally cleared. We had all lanes blocked westbound 580 at Bayview for a police investigation. They've released traffic. It has recovered, and you're looking great leading up to the toll plaza. I'll give you the Golden Gate, and there's our big yellow zipper truck switching around the lane configuration. The commute is over here. 21 minutes rolling south, Novato to San Francisco. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Have you been looking at replacing your home's windows or doors? If so, I'm sure price is a huge factor. At Renewal by Andersen, we're really proud of our fair pricing policy.
We're a typical middle-class family. We have a budget. We need to be aware of where our money's going. And the great thing about Renewal by Andersen was they actually had several financing options that were going to make sense for our situation.
So, let's talk windows. Our Fibrex window material is like the gold standard in the industry. It's a composite material that lasts longer, performs better, and is actually 2 times stronger than vinyl. Okay, so you're carrying this out to your back deck, but you gotta stop and try to shove open that patio door. That can be real frustrating. The dual ball bearing adjusters on our patio doors help the doors to glide easily. At Renewal by Andersen, we've been doing this a long time, and we know that you don't want some hard sell sales pitch. We'll visit your home, see exactly what you have, and then give you an exact price quote. And we'll honor that price for a whole year so that there's no pressure. Let us give you a price on the windows and doors that you will love.
We had the intention of looking at different companies, doing some due diligence, and we started with Renewal by Andersen, and it was such a compelling conversation and process that we ended up not even looking any further.
We've adjusted our operations to serve you in the safest way possible. Now through October 31st, we're giving you one last chance to take advantage of our 25th anniversary sale. We're all going through a lot these days, so to help, we're offering our biggest new customer discount. During your initial visit only, save 25% on windows and save 25% on patio doors. And with our financing, pay nothing for a year. We're offering virtual appointments too. Get a price from the safety of your own home. Our 25% off sale ends October 31st. Call 1-800-399-8989.
App-based drivers strongly support Prop 22 because it protects the flexibility they need.
I'm a busy single mom, recently retired.
Taking a full course load.
App-based driving works for my family.
Being an independent contractor works for me.
By 4 to 1, app-based drivers want to stay independent contractors.
That's why we need Prop 22.
Prop 22 protects our ability to drive on our own schedule.
And offers wage guarantees
and healthcare benefits.
Join me and hundreds of thousands of drivers in voting yes.
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 Yes on Prop 22.
The other breaking news that we're following are the wildfires in Sonoma and Napa County, which have now grown to more than 60,000 acres, and containment's only gone up by 1%. So now it's 6% contained, 288 homes destroyed in Napa and Sonoma counties. But we've seen more that they haven't been able to register in this number because, you know, the count isn't important at this point. It's the firefight that is the most important thing, because there are still close to 30,000 structures in harm's way. So they want to make sure that they can get a handle on this best they can. Right now, the investigation is still ongoing. They're looking at an electric fence around a vineyard that may have sparked it. But again, the bigger concern is just getting any kind of handle on these flames. We'll continue our team coverage. Want to go to Napa. Crown 4's Will Tran has been looking on what firefighters are up against.
Yeah, what are you seeing right now, Will?
The fire continues to burn out of control. More first responders are heading to the scene. You can see roads are shut down all over the place in Napa County. That's Old Petrified Forest Road, and you can see a CHP officer there. Only first responders are allowed to come into the city of Calistoga and St. Helena. Look at the sky. Because the fire is still burning and sitting at 60,000 acres right now, that not only is it chewing up land, it's sending horrible air quality into the sky, which is why today is probably the worst air quality that we have seen in the 5 days that my camera woman and I have been here. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better, because we do know that there are many places that don't have electricity. Rolling blackouts could be a possibility. It's going to be very hot, and for those who are staying inside their homes, and if they want to cool down a little bit, even if they don't have air conditioning, they want to open up their window, well, guess what? All that bad air goes inside. As far as the firefighting efforts, we are not seeing fire on the city level, meaning Calistoga and St. Helena, so it looks like those businesses are fine. The fire is in very remote, rugged areas. This is a staging area, one of many, and as you can see, there are plenty of trucks there. You can see a water truck. There's places, obviously, because it's way up in the hills along the ridge, that they don't have fire hydrants that they can tap into, that they have to drive water to the firefighters, refill their tanks in their fire engines, race back down the hill, refill their water tankers, and run back up. Back to you.
Thanks, Will.
So let's continue our team coverage of the fire this morning. Want to turn our attention now to Sonoma County.
Raina has a closer look at the situation in Santa Rosa.
We're getting a look at more of the devastation. I'm here on Austin Lane in Santa Rosa, where you can see the house behind me devastated by the fire. And it was one of the only houses here on the entire block that was touched by the fire. The rest of the homes here are okay. Now, I've seen several fields of burned down trees and shrubbery. You could see the fire damage goes on for miles. In most of these areas, barely almost touching some of the homes. The main concern today for firefighters out there and crews in the field are the down power lines, along with the hot spots. They continue to put out. We spoke to residents who live in the area, and here's what they had to say about the devastation.
You know, people that have lost their homes are just horrible. I felt particularly concerned with all of the Oakmont residents because you've got to be either 55 or over to live there. And there's a lot of people there in assisted care that it was just horrible seeing it from you guys on the news. You know, just moving all those people. So fortunately for me, I haven't had my house burned, but this time the only reason it hasn't burned is because of the first responders, and particularly, as I say, the fire guys.
Now you see this keep out sign behind me. There are a lot of signs similar to this one at different homes, but I want to let people know, if you're concerned about your property, that law enforcement is doing a great job of keeping people out of these areas. They've got most of the roadways blocked off. If you're not working on the fire or media, they're not letting you come in here. We're going to be covering the fire damage and more of the efforts on the ground in the coming days. But for now, reporting here in Santa Rosa, Raina Harvey, KRON 4 News.
All right, and because of all of the fires, of course, we've got that bad air that we had yesterday, and it looks like it's actually worse today.
Yeah, what do you think, John?
Yeah, more widespread for sure. Yesterday we had pockets of really bad conditions, and this morning it's just engulfing pretty much all of the Bay Area. Just one of our many views that you could look at right out your window, really, and see how poor that air quality is. Your Berkeley cam, that is not fog you're looking at, but rather that very poor air. These little red dots showing up in our cities across the Bay, that reflecting just how bad air quality is in each individual area. San Jose, Livermore, Fairfield, Vacaville, Concord, just to name a few areas that are in that deep, deep red. Poor conditions in San Francisco and Mountain View, and our very worst in Napa right now, as that's in the closest vicinity to the glass fire itself. Now, right now, temperatures are relatively comfortable still in the 60s and 70s. Enjoy at least the cooler feel as you're stepping outside, hopefully with the mask on and limiting that exposure as much as possible. The rest of the day today will not be feeling near as cool as where we're at right now, nor is there any guarantee that it's going to stay quite as calm as it is right now. In the vicinity of the glass fire, we are seeing pretty calm winds at the moment, but expected to pick up yet again on into the evening tonight. And you see that here showing up in your future cast of wind gusts, especially for the North Bay. Now, as winds will pick up this evening, we are still under red flag warnings through early tomorrow morning for most of the North Bay and then upper elevations of the rest of the Bay Area. In Peach, those are heat advisories in effect until 8 p.m. tonight, as daytime highs, although not as hot as yesterday, will still be in the triple digits for areas like Concord, Napa, and Santa Rosa. 90s for San Jose, Fremont, Hayward, Livermore, and Antioch, while 80s in Oakland, as well as San Francisco. Daytime highs will be a little cooler tomorrow for your Saturday. Sunday is looking like the coolest one yet, but it will still be hazy then, so don't plan a whole lot of outdoor activities this weekend, regardless of those temperatures falling. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, John. 9:52, and let's get back to new details now about President Trump and the First Lady having COVID. We have only heard from Melania this morning. The president has not tweeted. She says that she has some mild symptoms but is doing okay. The president just said that he was quarantining, and now we found out that it doesn't look like he's doing scheduled events today.
No, in fact, he was supposed to be on a call with seniors that were susceptible to the coronavirus. That was supposed to be a call that was on his public schedule. Instead, we're finding out that it was Vice President Mike Pence that actually came onto the call in the president's stead, saying that the president had been confirmed positive for coronavirus and said nothing more beyond that, and then continued with the call. So we still have yet to hear or see the president this morning. He has been silent on social media, with no public announcements yet from the White House about his current condition this morning.
Also getting new positives in this outbreak that started in the White House amongst the administration. We'll tell you how it's far-reaching this morning. Yet another positive coming in.
The American Nurses Association California strongly opposes 23 because it would force many dialysis clinics to shut down.
Protect me and 80,000 other dialysis patients. Please vote no on Prop 23.
Bay Area homeowners, do you have low water pressure where you can't even wash the shampoo out of your hair? You know, the same shower that you yell, "Don't flush the toilet, I'm in the shower!" It's time to get rid of those old, rusty, corroded pipes and call Repipe Specialist to get brand new PEX or copper pipes. Repipe specialists will repipe your home in just 1 or 2 days at half the cost of a plumber. Plus, we offer a lifetime guarantee. Call today for your free in-home estimate to get great water pressure and no more leaks.
Navigate the road of life with Blue Shield of California and AAA. We're excited to introduce our new Medicare Supplement Plan G Inspire, designed to keep you safer and more independent on and off the road. Call 866-983-4280 to enroll today. With benefits like a classic AAA membership with 24/7 roadside assistance, reimagine your journey with a Medicare plan that offers more, including the Blue Shield benefits you value most, like an allowance for over-the-counter items, vision benefits, Silver Sneakers Fitness and Wellness Program, access to doctors on call 24/7 by phone or video, and more.
I count on my Blue Shield Medicare plan.
Your road to the right coverage starts here with Blue Shield and AAA. Get Plan G Inspire. Enroll today. Call 866-983-4280. Plus, get a $10 Amazon gift card when you attend a Medicare webinar.
The American Nurses Association California strongly opposes 23 because it would force many dialysis clinics to shut down.
Protect me and 80,000 other dialysis patients. Please vote no on Prop 23.
Join AAA with automatic renewal and add loved ones for 50% off. So you get AAA's battery testing and replacement, and they do too. AAA's flat tire service comes to your rescue, and theirs too. AAA is just a call or click away for you and them. Add loved ones to your AAA membership and let them enjoy all the same benefits for 50% off. Get America's most recommended roadside assistance. AAA, outsmart life.
The White House coronavirus outbreak is spreading this morning. We are just getting in new positive reports from those who have had contact with the White House. President Trump and Melania Trump, you know about. Hope Hicks, you know about. This morning on our air, RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel reported a positive test, as did Senator Mike Lee of Utah, who had been to the White House within the last few days. And we just found out the president of Notre Dame University, who was at the Supreme Court announcement in Washington, John Jenkins, now reporting he has coronavirus. It seems that this is spreading far beyond Capitol Hill because, as we've talked about, the president has been seeing a lot of people, continuing his administration and continuing with the election. So a lot of people have had contact with the administration. We've also got negative results coming in this morning.
And that list continues to grow. You can see it on your screen here. We don't have time to go down every single one, but I will tell you that on KRON4.com and obviously on our KRON4 app and KRON On throughout the day, we're going to continue to keep you updated as those new names pop up, because don't forget, we've got everybody in the president's inner circle now being tested.
Have a good day.
This segment is sponsored by Cal Home.
Hi, welcome to Everything for Real Estate. I'm here with real estate expert Suzanne Rocha, who's been on the KRON4 Airways for over 12 years. Suzanne, can you describe what's going on in the market right now?
Experts are saying 3 words: time to sell and time to buy with these historically low interest rates. You know, people have been reaching out to me for years who need to sell a property out of a probate, a trust sale. Maybe they're tired of the stairs, tired of being a landlord, or maybe need to move to properties where it's less crowded communities.
Suzanne, you have such a unique approach to selling real estate.
Yes, Janelle, I do not need outdated strategies such as for sale signs, for looky-loos and neighbor questions. I also don't need lock boxes so we can protect everyone's safety. And you could still sell in an as-is condition in this market as well.
For a free consultation, you can call Suzanne directly and get her on the phone at 800-893-6665 or email her at help@calhomeinfo.com. Suzanne is a real expert you can trust.
The redesigned CR-V comes with a turbocharged engine standard. And every CR-V comes with Honda Sensing. Because you never know. Fun to drive wherever you go. The redesigned CR-V, the best-selling CUV over the last decade. Get a great deal on the CR-V, a KBB.com 2020 Best Buy Award winner. Contact your Honda dealer or shop online.
They do one of the most difficult jobs there is, even in normal times. Our frontline healthcare workers. And when these heroes lack the resources they need, that risky job gets 10 times harder. Prop 15 makes corporations pay their fair share to invest in our communities, in our clinics, in the essential workers who treat everyone, rich, poor, and in between. Whether it's this pandemic or the next health crisis, vote yes on Prop 15 for all of us.
Prop 21 is good for California.
Keep families in their homes. Vote yes.
In this ad for Prop 21, this guy's not even a veteran. He's an actor trying to trick you, and it's sickening. Just like Prop 21, pretending to be something it isn't. California veterans oppose 21 because it makes the housing crisis worse, with no plan to build affordable housing or help bring homeless vets off our streets. Stand with the men and women who actually wore our country's uniform. No on 21.
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.